Let me ask you something real quick. Have you ever watched an artist drop a song and instantly felt like the industry just shifted under your feet? Because that's exactly what just happened. Doechii is not asking for permission anymore. She's not knocking. She's not waiting her turn. She's walking straight through the front door, and the record she just released makes that painfully clear. This isn't just another single. This isn't even just a teaser. This is a declaration. With the release of this track, Doechii officially announced her upcoming album, Girl Get Up, and she didn't do it quietly. She brought SZA from Dawg Entertainment with her, and that alone should tell you this moment is bigger than most people realize. But here's the part people are missing. This song isn't just about Doechii proving she can rap. It's about her staking a claim that could ripple through hip-hop for years. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand why this one record might end up being one of the most important power moves we've seen from a new artist in a very long time. So stay with me, because this goes way deeper than you think. Before we go further, support me by liking this video and subscribing to this channel. Before we even get into bars, beats, or features, let's talk about timing. Doechii is technically starting 2026. That alone is a chess move. Instead of waiting for the industry to reset, she decided to get ahead of it. This track feels like a prelude, the same way Kendrick Lamar used the Heart series to signal something massive was coming. This isn't the album. This is the warning shot. And what makes this so dangerous for the rest of the rap game is that Doechii is doing this at a moment when hip-hop feels comfortable. Too comfortable. Artists are playing it safe. Streamers are louder than rappers. Controversy replaces competition. Doechii is cutting straight through all of that, and that mindset alone already separates her from most of her peers. Here's the uncomfortable truth. One of the biggest reasons people keep saying hip-hop has no new superstars isn't because the talent doesn't exist. It's because most artists don't want the smoke. They don't want to offend anyone. They don't want real competition. They don't want to be uncomfortable. Doechii clearly does. From the very first moments of this track, she sounds like someone who's tired of watching people coast. She's not just calling out lazy rappers. She's calling out the entire ecosystem that enables them. From clout-chasing streamers to industry plants to artists who survive off vibes instead of skill. And that's what makes this record feel threatening to so many people. Because she's not whispering these critiques. She's rapping them on a beat soaked in hip-hop history. Let's stop right here for a second. SZA on the Hook is not just a feature. It's a message. Dawg Entertainment does not move casually. They don't co-sign randomly. So when Doechii locks in SZA for a moment like this, it tells us she's operating on a higher tier already. This isn't an artist begging for validation. This is an artist being selected. And what's wild is, this isn't even the biggest flex on the record. That comes from a beat. Before Doechii even says a word, the instrumental already tells a story. The beat flips What Happened to That Boy, a Neptunes-produced Clips and Birdman classic. And if you know hip-hop history, you already know how heavy that choice is. That song is ground zero. Birdman refusing to pay Pharrell. The fallout that followed. The chain reaction that led to Birdman versus Pharrell. Clips versus Young Money. Pusha T versus Lil Wayne. Pusha T versus Drake. Kendrick Lamar versus Drake. This beat didn't just soundtrack history, it created it. So when Doechii chooses this instrumental, she's not just paying homage. She's stepping into the lineage. Rapping on this beat means accepting everything that comes with it. The love, the hate, the scrutiny, the enemies. And Doechii doesn't run from any of it. Throughout the track, there's this underlying theme of acceptance. Accepting that once you reach a certain level, you don't get to be liked by everyone anymore. You get analyzed, you get attacked, you get undermined. And instead of softening herself to survive that pressure, she leans into it. That's not the mentality of a rising star. That's the mentality of someone aiming for control. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. Whether people want to admit it or not, this record feels like Doechii quietly positioning herself above her peers, especially in female rap. And when you connect the dots, it starts to feel even more intentional. The beat lineage, the Kendrick cosign references, the SZA feature, the lyrical confidence. It almost feels like Doechii is preparing to take a seat that has long been occupied. and protected by Nicki Minaj. Not tomorrow, not eventually, soon. The first verse sets the foundation. Doechii directly addresses the mixed reactions surrounding her rise. The praise, the skepticism, the attempts to downplay her success. She frames it all as noise, distractions from her larger mission. What stands out is how composed she sounds. There's no desperation, no need to convince. She speaks like someone who already knows where she's headed. This verse feels like a calm before the storm. Because verse 2, that's where she starts swinging. This is where things get uncomfortable for a lot of people. Doechii takes aim at hip-hop media, streamers, and personalities who profit off narratives instead of talent. She calls out how certain artists get pushed despite delivering mediocre music, while she receives disproportionate criticism. And let's be honest, some of these reactions aren't about music at all. They're about control. They're about discomfort. They're about watching a new superstar rise without permission. Doechii doesn't dance around that. She names it. And that's why certain people are losing their minds right now. The third verse is where this track becomes historical. Doechii addresses being labeled too intellectual, boxed in, or pushed out of conversations because she doesn't fit the mold people expect. She hints at deeper conversations she's saving for the album, which, let's be real, is genius marketing. Then she gets personal. Bars about grinding for years. Bars about surviving cold winters. Bars about going from starving artist to demanding the whole table. And when she references the Kendrick cosign, that's not accidental. That's lineage confirmation. When you step back and look at everything, the beat, the bars, the features, the timing, it becomes clear. This song is not a flex. It's a warning. Doechii is announcing that she's about to make an MVP run through 2026. And if people keep underestimating her, they're going to regret it publicly. In a genre starving for true superstars, she's acting like one before everyone agrees she is. That's how legends move. So here's the real question. Are we watching the beginning of the next dominant era in hip-hop? Because if Doechii continues moving with this level of intention, like Kendrick, like SZA, like Top Dawg has always done, then doubting her might be the dumbest move people make this year. She's not chasing trends. She's not begging for acceptance. She's building a legacy. And history tells us exactly how this ends. Now I want to hear from you. What did you think of this new Doechii record? How did SZA contribution land for you? What do you think about the Clips Neptune's beat choice?